In this video, we're going to be doing a collaboration video with some other YouTube channels about living your best life on a budget during a pandemic. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Long Run with Joel and Christy. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy. And today we are participating in our very first ever collab video. We want to first of all thank Rochelle with the HealthyBudgetTravelLoveYT channel for inviting us to be a part of this collab.
Absolutely. And also we have some others that are going to be collaborating with us. And we're going to also put their YouTube channel screens up as we said our names. But there's Finance Rocks,
Lifestyle with Chev,
Lucian's Lifestyle,
The Organized Millennial,
Just Frugal Me,
and Her Courage to Plan.
All right, so those are the ones that are collaborating, that we're collaborating with on this lifestyle video. Living your best life on a budget during a pandemic.
That's right. And be sure that you go over to their channels, check out their videos, and then comment below it and tell them that you came from our channel.
That's right. And if you're here from one of their channels, comment below and tell us that you came, which channel that you came from, that you heard about this video from us, from them. Tell us which one you came from. Did you get that? All right. So yeah. So we're going to share with you 3 tips today about how to live healthy, how to live your best life on a budget during a pandemic, right?
Yep.
So what's the first one?
Now, if you're new to our channel, you may not know that our actual reason for setting up our channel was to say that we can live a healthy life on a budget. And so a lot of the things that we talk about actually go around the topic of how to save money on groceries and other items that will help alleviate some of your budget so you have a little bit more for that healthy life that you may be dreaming of having.
Yep.
So we
that's
felt
our first tip, right?
Yeah, basically that's our first tip is you can live your best life on a budget during a pandemic by saving money on groceries. And I know you're sitting there going, no, the prices of groceries has increased and we're having trouble finding what we're looking for. Well, we're going to give you a few tips on how we're doing it right now. Not to say that groceries won't still be a little bit more expensive than it used to be, but I think that with these few tips you might be able to alleviate some of that pressure to buy your groceries.
Yep. So one of the ways you can save money on groceries is to shop circulars. Some of the grocery stores still send those out in the mail.
Yeah, they stopped for like a good month when things were so hard for them to even keep on the shelves. But now that stores are starting to get back, they're starting to put out circulars again. So start watching for those and shop your sales just like you used to back before this all happened.
That's right. Also use digital coupons.
That's right. In fact, today we picked up our Kroger grocery haul and we did Kroger click list. And before we went in, I knew that we were buying non-bread and I was looking through their coupons on their app and there it was, $1 off non-bread. So I clicked it real quick so that it would apply that coupon when they rang it up, and it did.
There you go.
And so I know that I've heard them say on the news that, oh, there's no sales in the grocery stores because prices went up.
You can find them.
They're still there. They're not as many maybe as they used to be, and it's still harder to find some of the things you ordered, but they're there. At least give it a try and look. And also continue using those apps like Ibotta and Fetch Rewards and others that we'll put links, referral links to those in our description if you're not familiar with any of the rebate apps. Be sure to continue using those because they're a great way to eventually get your money back, at least a little of your money back.
Yep. You can also save money on groceries by planning. Plan. Plan days and weeks in advance.
Yeah. Now, I've heard, and I understand it, but I've heard some people say meal planning just went out the window when they couldn't find some of the stuff that they needed to actually put a meal together.
Nope.
So here's what we do. Say we're shopping for 1 week at a time. Instead of planning 7 meals, we plan 9 or 10 meals.
Yep.
And that way, if something's not available, we still have another meal to fall back on. We have a better chance of getting 7 meals worth complete meals than if we had just planned 7 meals.
And if we get all 10, and that's even a bonus, you're into the next week.
Yeah, you have three meals into the next week.
And if you have any leftovers, you're into almost 2 weeks of only
right.
buying 1 week. So.
Yes, and that's another thing I will say, that when meal planning, we do things a little different than some people, is that we don't typically count our leftover meals on our list of meals that we're going to have. And then if we have enough food to have leftovers, then we just push back the next meal in the order. So that's just a way that we do, and we extend it, and we end up with a few meals into the next week or the next 2 weeks, however we do it. So we don't have to buy as much the next time.
That's right.
If you can find meat in bulk, it's still a good idea to buy that. But when I say meat in bulk, I mean a family pack of chicken instead of the smaller pack of chicken. But remember, there's still a maximum amount in most grocery stores that you can buy. It's kind of hard to buy a lot of food in bulk at the moment, but buying a family pack of chicken instead of the smaller pack, or buying a 2 or 3 pound pack of ground beef instead of a 1 pound at a time is a good way. You can bring it home, divide it up into several different packs, and then you've got 2 or 3 meals out of it.
Yep, and also use what you have.
Yes.
Go through your cabinets, go to your freezer, go to your refrigerator, and use what you have already. Make your plan around that.
Inventory your food.
Yep, we do that every week.
Every week we inventory to make sure that we don't buy more than we needed. Like, if you don't do that, you end up having 5 cans of something you didn't know that you even, because you already had 2 or 3 and you didn't realize you had them. So inventory not only your pantry but also your freezer, so that you know exactly how much meat and frozen veggies and things like that you have on hand. Also, if you're having trouble finding an ingredient for how many weeks? A month, I think. We have been trying to find dry active yeast.
Yep.
Can't find it in any store. Well, we have a whole bag of flour because we were going to make homemade pizza.
That's right. I haven't had pizza in a month, and I am sad.
He's sad.
Sad day.
And so what I eventually did was think about it and say, there's got to be a recipe for pizza that doesn't require yeast. And so I Googled it. It worked.
Yep.
It worked. There are pizza crusts, and we're going to be doing that this coming week sometime.
We'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, we may record it. I'm not sure. Also, in the line of using what you have, because we have flour and because we're about to move in 2.5 weeks, means we want to get rid of that flour. We're going to make some tea cakes. And we're probably going to record that video too. But that's a good way. Just look for recipes that include things that you already have in your house and use that stuff. Because that saves you on groceries. You don't have to buy as much if you are using what you already have.
All right, so you're saving money on groceries. Those are tips we just gave you. Next, I want to talk to you about some fitness tips. How do you stay fit? How do you live your best life staying fit during a pandemic? Well, the gyms are all closed, right? Well, they're getting ready to open back up at 25% capacity, but if you go...
here in Texas.
Yeah, well, here in Texas they are. But if you were to go and there's 25% of the people in there, you're not going to be able to still get in. So how do you stay healthy during a pandemic? Well, number one, exercise outdoors. That's what I do. I don't belong to a gym. I don't have a gym membership. Sometimes I go to the gym at our apartment complex just to lift the weights and things.
It's been closed for 2 months.
But it's been closed for 2 months. So my main exercise is outside. I run. I have several different routes that I run during the week and on the weekends just to get my exercise in. We don't have a scale in the house, and my goal for October was to get down to about 168 pounds for Chicago Marathon, which I'm now not going to run this year, but going to run next year. So I don't know what I weigh right now, but I feel like I've lost some weight during the pandemic, just from laying off sodas and eating, less and still exercising and stuff like that. So exercise, get outdoors, exercise, go for a run, find you a park that you can go to and walk or run or do something that you can do outside. You can also exercise in your house. Find something that's if you have some weights that you've used in the past, you don't use anymore. Pick them up, start using them again. You can do squats in your house. You can do wall sits. You can do any number of things. You can do push-ups or planks or all of those things that'll keep you healthy during the pandemic. Do those things. Also, you can look at YouTube videos. Now, I don't have any fitness YouTube videos. No. Maybe that's something I should think about. But anyway, y'all just gave me inspiration already. But go look at some fitness YouTube videos, some exercise videos, things that you can do inside your home, your apartment, your townhouse, wherever you are. You can do those things inside, and you don't need a gym for that. So look up some YouTube videos.
As far as YouTube videos go, if you haven't been exercising a lot, this is new. Like you normally have a desk job and you're like, well, while I'm during this pandemic, I'm going to exercise with YouTube videos. A great start is there's some walking YouTube videos where you're walking in place, but you're doing certain motions that use all your body, but it's very light on your joints and stuff. It would be a good start. Yep.
And also I'm starting a group, a running group, exercise group, I guess on our Long Run Facebook account called Running on Empty. And so I'm going to put some things up there. I'm going to share some of my runs, some things that I do. If you'd like to be a part of that, come join us on Facebook and be a part of our group. And I can give you some tips there if you'd like some tips. If you want to share with me some tips that you're doing, I want to hear those too.
It's a private group because we don't want any trolls.
Right, it's a private group, so you'll have to you'll have to request membership, and I'll have to click you in there. But be more than happy to do that. So be thinking about that. You can stay fit during a pandemic, and those are some ways that you can do that. And comment below and tell me some ways that you're trying to stay fit during the pandemic. And so the last thing we want to talk to you about today is some mental health tips. Yep. And the reason we want to say that is sometimes that gets overlooked. We all want to save money and we all want to stay fit, but sometimes we don't think about our personal selves, our mental selves, our emotional health. Yep. And so we want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all those things, so that you can make it through this pandemic and get through on the other side emotionally healthy. Mm-hmm. So what are some ways that we can do that?
My first big tip in this category is to turn off the news.
Turn it off. You have an on-off button on your phone. You can click out of a news channel. You can turn your TV off. You can turn it to another channel, watch something else. You don't have to watch the news, because a lot of times with the news, what you're going to get is worst case scenario. It's always the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah, and if that's starting to get to you, you need to turn off the news.
Turn it off.
And just understand, there are, for me, I look at, as far as this pandemic goes, I look at the Harris County website to see what the current numbers are and the current active cases and the current recovered cases. And that keeps me in the know without having to watch hours of news footage that is meant to make me feel fearful and stressed out. So if you need to look on something like that, the Weather Channel app shows cases, things like that, and it shows a chart that shows how the cases are going, like if they're rising. Do something like that and turn off the news, because they're giving you the worst case scenario.
Watch something else. Also, limit your social media intake, or limit how you watch things on social media. If you have a lot of people that are Debbie Downers, then maybe you can hide those.
Yeah, you can. There's a drop down button on a post on Facebook, and you can drop that down and it will say, snooze this person for 90 days. Snooze them for 90 days.
Snooze them for 90 days. And then, look for the positive things on social media, on Facebook and Snapchat and TikTok and YouTube and all these other social media channels. Look for the positive things to look for that will build you up and not tear you down.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, right here,
That's
Instagram.
Right.
We did a day in the life today, so you can see everything that we did all day, even setting up for this thing, which we'll take pictures of that. So
we haven't done that.
Yeah, but we will.
But I try every day in stories to add something to make you laugh, and every day in the news feed, I generally post something that is meant to help inspirationally. So look for those accounts that's trying to lift you up instead of people who are dragging you down.
There you go.
So
also, you can read a book. You know, you can turn everything off and just go and read a book. It doesn't have to be a physical book you can hold in your hand.
Right now I'm reading off Kindle.
Yeah, you can read off your Kindle, read off your phone. Just go and read a book, and it doesn't have to be a self-help book. It doesn't have to be something that is making you money or anything like that. It can be what I call a trash book, just a book that you read for fun.
It can be either one. We do a one off, one on. So like last month we read more of the self-help book kind of category.
Personal growth.
Personal growth. Yeah, there you go. Personal growth. This month,
it's a trash book.
Yeah, it's our trash book. But what am I reading?
Treasure Island?
No.
Oh, Crime and Punishment.
I'm reading Crime and Punishment.
She's reading Crime and Punishment.
I like to read classic novels.
I read a book that was written, a couple years ago, but it was, it took me like 5 days to read it. She's still reading. And
my book's 633 pages
not
long.
even close to being done. I've already picked up another one and started reading it that I'm reading for work. So go out, get you a book and read it. And go out on your porch or on your deck or go to the park or go to the pool or something and read your book.
Yep.
All right.
And if you don't have access to, like, say, Amazon for Kindle books or buying a book physically, like the public libraries have online abilities, and so check it out.
That's right.
And I think they're free as long as you set up your account.
Should be. Yep. Another thing you can do, go for a walk. Mm-hmm. Yep, go for a walk around your neighborhood, around your house, or around your whatever you are, wherever you are. You can just go for a walk, or you can take a nap.
Take a nap. Yep.
What's better than taking a nap?
Wow, I miss naps, especially when you have kids. If you can get those kids to take a nap, take your time.
Watch a show that makes you laugh.
That's right. Sometimes some of the best things to do is just like, for us, we're Friends fans.
Yep.
We know the jokes are coming.
Yep.
But we can laugh at it because we know it's coming.
Also on YouTube, you can Google bloopers from your favorite shows. Watch those. They're pretty funny too.
Yep. All right. Now, if none of this is really like you've tried all that and you're still anxious and you're nervous, then honestly, it might be time to maybe set up an appointment with a counselor or a minister. They can do that online, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. FaceTime or Skype or something.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with admitting that you're struggling. And so if you're struggling and just these simple ideas of ways to take care of yourself is not helping, then it might be time to go see someone who maybe can look at things from outside looking in, because sometimes it's harder for us to see that things are going to get better when we're on the inside of it. They can see something that maybe you're not. Just ask for help when you need it.
Yep, do that. Also, you can, last thing I want to share with you on this tip is, Christy and I do this. She does it on her own, I do it on my own as well, but we have a devotional time every morning where we read the Bible, we read devotional materials, stuff like that. Just kind of get your day started on the right track. If you never thought about doing that, then if you want to think about doing that, do that, and pick up a Bible and read it, and read in Psalms or Proverbs or John, or don't start in Leviticus. That probably wouldn't be good.
That's deep.
Yeah, that's pretty deep. But start in the Psalms and read some of those, and and just refresh your soul. So
also say, if you aren't part of a church, find one online right now during this time. There's lots of churches that are having online services right now, and maybe, you know, you never know, you might connect with people through those online services, and after this is all over and everybody can go back to church buildings, you can be a part of that.
Yep. All right, so those are our tips for living your best life on a budget during a pandemic. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for updates from us. And comment below with some of the things that you're doing to live healthy, live your best life on a budget during a pandemic.
Also, be sure to check out those other
Yep.
YouTube channels that we spoke about in the beginning of the video. And also comment below if you came from one of those
Yep.
channels.
Let them know you came from here.
Yes. And again, we want to thank Rochelle with HealthyBudgetTravelLoveYT for inviting us.
Absolutely. So this is our first of hopefully many collaborations with other YouTubers. Don't forget to click one of the videos floating around for more content from us. And for the Long Run with Joel and Christy, I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
We'll see you next time. Bye.